Britain has urged the Special Conference of State Parties of the Chemical Weapons Convention (CWC) to endorse its proposal to reinforce implementation of the convention and the capacity of for the prohibition of chemical weapons (OPCW). This is with the support from Malaysia and other like-minded countries on the issue of chemical weapons attacks by state and non-state actors, stressing that it is not about taking sides, rather taking a position. British High Commissioner to Kuala Lumpur Vicky Treadell told the New Straits Times Press NST recent chemical weapons incidents meant that the international community must come together to confront the menace by giving OPCW a strong mandate to name those responsible for the attacks.
So the reason why we want a special conference is precisely to advance the shared goals that we believe all decent states want. To make sure that the horror of chemical weapons is genuinely a thing of the past, is to express our collective and clear support for the Chemical Weapons Convention. If you like, to reaffirm it and to take a moment where people stop and say, actually, there is a reason why we signed up to this, and we have to make sure that its requirements are properly fulfilled, and also to signal to those who continue to use these weapons, whether state or non-state actors, that we're not prepared for this to continue. So the purpose of the conference is very much to strengthen the OPCW's capacity to help secure that kind of safe world that we want, and to be able to assist states to fulfill their obligations under the convention and to make a real contribution to identifying those responsible for these attacks. And for that to happen, we want the OPCW to be enabled and properly funded to assist countries across the range of things that we need to do. And there's also a regulatory part to it too, that actually the chemicals industry around the world is properly regulated, that access to the elements that can make these weapons is better monitored and understood. Who are you selling the component parts to? So it's not just about the state actors. Our concern too are the non-state actors, if such weapons are used by terrorists. And we have seen one or two incidents in the past where this has happened. If I recall my own sort of memory of history, an attack in Tokyo on their underground some years ago. And you know, if you create a permissive environment because state actors are doing this and getting away with it, it can be an inspiration for non-state actors to say, actually, these are weapons we can easily use. You know, I think we're all agreed that the UN ought to be the channel for these kind of things, but as long as countries have vetoes and can stop progress, you need to find an equally respected international organization that on this specific issue can see through the process of not just verifying that chemical weapons have been used, how to clean up afterwards, but also to identify who the perpetrators are, because there needs ultimately to be justice and fairness. And you can only have justice and fairness for the victims of these attacks by having accountability and removing the view that you have impunity and you can continue doing this sort of thing. And as I said at the very beginning, we have seen a slight increase in these incidents. That is why this is the moment to stand up and to provide some international leadership. And we have a core group of countries that are close to us and working on this, but it is important for countries like Malaysia, we feel, to be part of the international community in supporting this agenda. This is not a choice between East or West, North or South. This is about a choice of a country's own national interests, a country's own security, And the best guarantee is to work as an international community. So it's not about taking sides, it's about taking a position for one's own national security interests.